Welcome in to the Gambling Gauchos. I'm Rob Rowe. He's Carson Robinson. It's not the Gambling Gauchos either.
I was about to say.
It's the Rob Rowe Show.
I don't want Kyle thinking I'm taking his spot.
No. I just completely lost my mind there. It's the Rob Rowe Show. I am the host. He's the co-host today, but you can co-host today also by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and commenting below. I'll get my spiels right. I got.
That's what happens.
I was distracted.
That's what happens when you have so many things that you're doing, Rob.
Man,
you got your name on so many things.
I know
you can't keep it all together most days.
It's true. It's
a good thing. It's a good thing.
We welcome in Lubbock Llanero. He calls me Bobby. I feel like I know some of these people in real life, and they just comment with their stage name, and I don't know who they are, but
yeah, you gotta think that. Like, I thought me and my brother were the only ones who still called you that. Anybody from high school.
Yeah, your dad.
Yeah, my dad.
He calls me several things, though. Most radio friendly.
That's fact.
Anyways, this is the Rob Rowe Show. It's not the Gambling Gauchos. The Gambling Gauchos.
I tried to help you out, too, Rob. I even wore the hat today.
I was just, looking up and anyways, the College World Series still going on. The finals coming up. We pegged LSU versus Florida. That's what happened. The LSU Wake Forest game last night was one of the greatest college baseball games that didn't score a run until the 11th inning, in my opinion.
That's
I was watching on my phone. Paul Skeens, just a great afternoon, evening. The play at the plate. And then who else but Tommy Tanks to go up there in the bottom of the 11th and hit a 2-run bomb?
Yeah, you got exactly what you thought you were going to get last night. 2 top-tier pitchers, 2 guys are going to go in the top probably 5 picks, if not number 1 and number 4, number 1 and number 3, with Skeens going number 1. But, yeah, you got exactly what you wanted last night. You even got to see the guy that takes a couple bumps of the angel dust before he comes out of the bullpen from Wake Forest come in last night too. So he's filthy, right?
He's something.
And he doesn't throw 100. He just throws changeup, slider, changeup, slider. There's not a whole lot of speed to it, you'd think, after snoozing all those snooters. But
if you throw your changeup more than your fastball, isn't that the fastball and then the changeup?
Yeah. Yeah, if you throw your changeup more than your fastball is probably not that good.
Yeah,
but it's effective what he was doing. So, kudos to him.
Yeah, throwing 80, it takes a brave soul to go up there and throw 88 and get it across, especially when everybody else is throwing 100 in this college series.
Yeah, everybody throws 100 period in college baseball now.
Maybe that's why it's so effective, though, especially in this College World Series where everybody has power arms. It seems like then you have a guy going up there tweaking and throwing 84.
Yeah, that's fact.
84 across the plate, and everybody's swinging in front of it.
It's effective, and then you bring in a guy right after him that's throwing 96 and 97, and he's blowing doors off of the LSU Tigers. And then, like you said, Tommy Tanks decides to take care of business in the bottom of the 11th. What a way! LSU just has a history of, go back to Warren Morris against Miami in the finals, winning the College World Series. I can't remember, was it 1996, whatever year that was, where he had gotten hurt, he had broken his hand or something like that. There's a 30 for 30 or SEC story thing about the whole deal. But one of LSU's greatest teams was that year with Warren Morris and all those studs, but beat an Alex Cora Miami team on a walk-off home run by Warren Morris in the 10th or the 11th, something like that. So LSU's got a knack for hitting walk-off home runs in Omaha, whether it's in Rosenblatt Stadium or Charles Schwab TD Ameritrade, whatever you want to call it.
Just home runs, period.
Yeah, home runs, period. LSU is just LSU. They go on LSU. It doesn't matter if Jay Johnson's coaching, Skip Bertman's coaching, or Paul Maneri's coaching. They're always really good.
I want to say I was watching that game in a hotel somewhere at some point in my life.
The Warren Morris game?
I watched LSU win a national championship in a hotel room with my dad somewhere.
Could have been the Warren Morris game. I mean, you're talking about June. You're probably on summer vacation. Pops is on vacation.
Yeah.
Perfect time for it.
Is Florida going to win it all? Tech always has a tough draw. Texas Tech is the only team to beat Florida in this postseason. They did not lose to anyone else in the regional. They swept the Super, and then they went 1-2-3 in the College World Series to get to the finals. They are rested a day ahead of LSU. They miss LSU's ace. Yes, I think Florida will beat LSU this weekend.
I agree, because you got Waldrop and you got Sproat who can go for you. I'm sure you'll get Sproat tomorrow night in game 1. Waldrop will go game 2. LSU is going to piece things. I mean, they'll have their number 2 to start Saturday. But yeah, I think the pitching for Florida is just saved up tremendously, whereas LSU lost their second game to Wake Forest. They've had to play back-to-back days where they get a day off today, obviously, but that doesn't help their bullpen any because they've been throwing, Blake Money's thrown a lot. Coleman's thrown. Guidry's thrown in pretty much every game. Herring probably not available. So I don't know. You just kind of got to piece things together if you're LSU and hope you get a really good start tomorrow night versus a really, really good guy in Sproat.
Everything restarts, right? It's the best 2 of 3.
Yeah, best of 3. Yep.
Yeah, I would take Florida to win too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though I would rather LSU win, I'd rather see the Tigers win than the Gators and Kevin O'Sullivan. But anyway, I think Florida's the better team regardless.
We talked about this, I guess, last Friday. Does it make you feel any better for the team that beats you to win? No. It doesn't make me feel any better. It makes me feel better that Florida got to Omaha. But beyond that, I'm not rooting for them. I was a Florida fan in my youth. I have since grown out of that. LSU all the way, go Tigers.
Yeah, go Tigers. Florida, I mean, look around at their lineup too. I mean, you got, of course, Dylan Cruz probably. If him and Skeens might go 1 and 2. You might have 2 LSU Tigers go number 1 and number 2 in the Major League Baseball draft next week.
And then Wyatt Langford on number 3.
Yeah, exactly. And so
the 3 best players playing this weekend.
And then Sproat
isn't playing.
Yes, Skeens, he's done for the week.
Well, hey,
he's thrown 2 gems.
Game 3 bullpen.
I doubt that. Not a chance. Bullpen. No way. He threw 100 pitches yesterday.
130.
Yeah. He's not coming back. There's no way. He might want to, but there's no way Wes and Jay Johnson are going to let him come back.
O'Sullivan would.
Oh, Kevin O'Sullivan would ride him until he rode him in the dirt. He doesn't care.
The Stanford coach would.
How about the Stanford coach going to the concession stand during the rain delay? That's big league awesome. Right there, man.
That was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's College World Series for you. And then, we always bag on TCU. We're not big TCU fans. But listen to Kirk Saarloos talk and do his in-game, breakdown of the game. You kind of got to root for the guy, right? Like, he was kind of a cool dude.
No, you don't have to root for him, but he was the best coach interview of all the coaches.
Agreed. I think he's probably that guy who, when he gets done coaching, he's probably up there with Chris Burke and Ben McDonald and all those guys doing what they're doing, because he's a big league guy. He's really not somebody you would think of as a head coach. He's listening to him and Kevin O'Sullivan talk is like night and day difference.
You have to interview the rest of the coaches. Saarloos joined the broadcast.
Yes. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah.
That's how it works.
He put the headset on and joined the broadcast while his team is hitting and running bases and making base running mistakes and everything else. Yeah.
And almost hitting home runs.
They did hit a home run in the first game.
They hit a home run the first game with him.
Yeah.
So, that was good. All right. That's College World Series. If you have any more questions, you can put them down. We're going to talk about the basketball tournament next. The roster right now for Texas Tech, I guess that's going to be the final roster. John Robertson, Todrick Gocher, Dejan Kravic, Zach Smith, Parker Hicks, Davide Moretti, Matt Mooney, Tariq Owens, Kyler Edwards, and Davian Warren. That goes back all the way to 2007 with John Robertson, who played until 2011. Gocher till 2016, Kravick till 2014. So you have a good spread there. Kyler Edwards makes his return. In the Lubbock Regional, the Bleed Green is the 2 seed. That's the North Texas team. HBCU United, historically black colleges and universities around the country. The Enchantment, the New Mexico team, they have a sweet logo.
Yeah, they do.
Own is the University of Texas. In the Lab, YouTubers. Rise and Grind, a collection of D2, D3, and NAIA ballers. And then Purple Hearts, which is just one of those buy-in teams. If you win game 1 against the Purple Hearts, you'll play the 4-5, which would be the Enchantment and Austin's Own. So you could play the game number 2 against the University of Texas. And have you seen the drama? Chandre Jones, who was on the Texas Tech team last year, wanted to be on the Texas Tech team this year, but Texas Tech went full Texas Tech with it being in Lubbock.
And he got butthurt.
And he got angry and went and signed with Texas. So you could play Chandre Jones in game 2, former Red Raider, Air Raider star. That is what it is. It adds to the intrigue, though. I don't think any of the fans in attendance will figure it out.
No. And why? I don't understand why he's getting so upset either. Like, it's a full Tech roster.
Yeah. I think because he felt like they let him on, he said on Twitter. But I guarantee you they're just covering their bases.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're probably saying, hey, man, if we got a spot left, if none of these guys, one of these guys bounces, then if we have a spot left, yeah, we'll let you on the team, but we're going to go full Texas Tech. I mean, Sorrells has said that from the beginning.
And they've tried to do that. They just didn't do it last year.
And you got Andrew Sorrells and Clark Lammert are the 2 GMs, quote unquote, whatever they have. They're the 2 guys that are putting together the team. And so those are 2 Tech guys too. Why would it not? And it's in Lubbock. Tech people are
staff.
Yeah,
I mean, all had stops at Texas Tech.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, you can't be upset about something that it's just somebody trying to put a chip on their shoulder and put up on Twitter and be upset about something they shouldn't be upset about. But that's society today anyway, so I guess it shouldn't surprise me.
I was really looking forward to maybe like a Norrance or a Jarrett Culver. But I think when you're locked into the G League, you can't play in the basketball tournament.
Okay, that makes sense because I was thinking, Jarrett Culver would be a perfect guy for this tournament. I mean, he's a Lubbock kid, Texas Tech kid. I thought that if you're in the G League, you could play in it, but of course, there's a guy that played in the basketball tournament that last year that got selected in the NBA draft last night. So
maybe it's if you have an NBA contract,
maybe so, and he has that 2-way. Yeah, he's on a 2-way.
So there's something about that.
Might be why you couldn't get Adonis Arms on the team as well, because he's on a 2-way. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but really looking forward to it. This is in the middle of July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple weeks.
Dang, that is just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost the end of June. It's June 23rd. That's crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun, Robbie.
I guess so. What are your thoughts on the teams that are going to be here in Lubbock?
I like it. I think that, the Enchantment squad, New Mexico's had some talented rosters in the past. So that kind of worries you a little bit. But obviously, like last year with Texas Tech, they only had probably 4 or 5 Texas Tech alumni, and then the rest were from everywhere else. I mean, you had Dayton. I can't remember where the other guys are from, but you have guys from all over the place. Austin's Own. I don't know what their roster even looks like from Texas. I would assume it's not bad. I would assume it's pretty salty.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Give it to me.
Oh, damn. Andrew Jones.
Oh,
I don't recognize a lot of the other ones, but
okay.
Kerwin Roach.
Yeah. Dude can shoot it.
He can shoot it at the USA.
Yeah.
So can Andrew Jones. They can both.
Yeah, they both fill it up pretty well at the USA.
And then it's Jordan Hamilton, Cam Ridley, Dexter Pittman, Mick Kabongo, Sterling Gibbs, Alexis Wangmene,
Never heard of him.
Chapman, and then I guess Chandre Jones, but he's not on this list.
He probably quit their team too.
It's a bunch of old guys. So Andrew
except for Roach and Jones.
And then 2011, 16, 10, 13, 12, 12, 12 are the years the guys finished at Texas.
Wow. And Roach and Jones just finished in 2022, 23.
Roach was 19.
Oh, okay, 19. Seems like he's still beating us last year. Just dropping dimes.
And then Andrew Jones, 2022.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Andrew Jones, even though he's a Longhorn, still a great story. I mean, to come back from leukemia, isn't that what he had? Non-Hodgkin or something like that. Some form of cancer. To come back from treatment and doing all those things, come back and just play Division I basketball is tough enough. Playing Division I basketball without having cancer is hard. But doing it the way he did and coming back and being a pretty daggum good player, got in the starting lineup for Texas. And I think, he was a pretty good player. At least he was when he played Texas Tech. I know that. He always seemed to find open spaces when he played the Red Raiders. So hopefully he doesn't if he plays the Air Raiders. But I'm excited about the Tech team. I'm really excited to get to watch some of those guys. John Robertson, again, he was one of my favorite players growing up. Of course, I guess he's about our age, maybe a little bit older than we are. But yeah, he's one of those guys that was electric. The floater in the lane was my favorite play of his. Getting in there, him and Daryl Dora, I believe they played together, right? Same years?
Sounds right.
Close to it anyways.
Maybe a little bit of crossover.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. Todrick Gocher, always going to be one of my favorite Red Raiders just because of, sticking it out through some really bad times. Then Tubby brought him in and came in, and Todrick was able to have some success, and that's turned into some success overseas for him in the basketball world. So, and just a great dude too, great family, and Todrick Gocher and all his family getting to come back to Lubbock and be around. I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere. I think the basketball tournament, Dayton is kind of their, main place. It's like where they were born. The basketball tournament was, yep. But I think they're going to find out Lubbock is a pretty sweet place to host this thing. The USA is gorgeous. I think you could literally, if you had the championships there and the Air Raiders were there, think about that. There, you could get 10,000 people there.
It would have to involve the Air Raiders.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have to involve them, but
yeah, here's the rest of the regional spaces: Wichita, Louisville. Wow, that was a tough word to say for some reason. West Virginia, Syracuse, Dayton, Lubbock, and Xavier. The championship this year is in Philadelphia.
This tournament has become kind of the like a thing you put on your calendar for the summer, right? Like the first year, it was kind of like, what's this going to look like? What is this? What do they call the scoring again?
Well, the first 3 or 4 years, nobody knew about it.
Yeah, nobody knew about it. That's what I mean. And then ESPN picked it up.
Going to play.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a legit tournament, but it's turned into something. And you have the Elam ending, which you're
Elam ending. Thank you. Love it. Absolutely love the Elam ending. I think it just adds to every single bit of excitement in this thing. Like the Elam ending is what makes this tournament so great. I think
high school basketball should have to go to it.
I'd love that. Love it. Love the Elam ending in high school basketball.
If you don't want to do a play clock, Elam ending, and just get it over with.
Yeah. Other than that, go to a 40-second shot clock and let's see what can happen.
That too.
High school basketball gets dreadful after a while.
Yes. When you're not using them.
Right. Yeah. And it's not all high school basketball. I mean,
There's some really good high school
refereed a lot of high-level high school basketball. You go to the Houston Regional and the 6A level, and you're talking about all D1 kids, and they don't need a shot clock because they're running up and down the floor and just going after it. But, yeah, I mean, most high school game, even those games would be great because you're coming down to the wire in every single one of those. There's going to be a buzzer beater, and it's not really a buzzer beater. It's always going to be a game winner. Like, that's what makes it exciting. That's what I love about the Elam ending. Every single shot that ends a game is a big-time shot, and it's a big-time celebration, especially when the game's close. Like, it's a buzzer beater every single game, right? Even if you're up by 8 or 9, you still hit a shot and the bench goes nuts because you hit the shot to win the game. Like, it's not just dribbling the ball out with 20 seconds on the clock that's just, you know?
You have to score to win.
Yeah, you got to score to win. That's the best part.
Yes.
The best part. That's what I love about it. What if they did that in a Final Four?
Oh, it'd be
How
beautiful.
cool would that be?
It'd be beautiful.
It'd be awesome, right?
People would hate it because it's not what they're used to.
Oh, yeah.
And
people hate change.
It feels like a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got used to it, and you've gotten used to it in the summer, it's been really good.
I mean, there's a lot of gimmicks that we employ. Like, the shot clock is a gimmick, to be honest. I mean,
2-point conversions.
Yeah. The 3-point line was a gimmick.
Yeah.
The dunk is a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's all a gimmick until it gets into it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Texas Rangers. They're 46-28. 5-5 in their last 10, a little bit of struggling, but the Astros have helped out. They've gone 4-6. And the Angels, aside from a series where they beat Texas 3 out of 4, have gone 6-4 and have struggled in their own right in the last 10. So you've kept pace with a 5.5 game lead and a 6 game lead. You're right in the mix with the Orioles as the second best team in baseball. The Rays are still way ahead of everyone, 52-26. And then the Diamondbacks at 46-30, the Reds at 40-35, and then the Braves in the NL at 48-26. But the most important storyline this week is that 5 or 6 of the Texas Rangers got through the first round of voting, and now you're voting on starters. Josh Young will be an all-star.
Fact. That is a given now.
You just have to see if he's going to be a starter or not. And you said he was in first place?
Yeah, he was the leading vote getter of AL first base or third baseman. So Evan Wren tweeted that out yesterday. Because whenever I looked on Tuesday and laid my vote down on Tuesday for Josh Young, it was Matt Chapman was up by 44,000 votes or something like that. But then Josh Young overnight just makes a comeback. I'm sure it was Texas Tech Twitter that
might have been
that did it, and Texas Rangers Twitter, but mostly Tech Twitter, I'm sure. But just a big comeback. And Evan Wren posted that he was the leading vote getter of AL third baseman. That's huge. And Josh is not having a great week. He's 0 for, what was he? No, he's 1 for 8 in the last 2 games against the White Sox, struck out 7 times.
That last White Sox game was
bueno. Sometimes you go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. It's the big leagues. That happens. And people I saw on Twitter where people were like, oh no, he's going to hit that midseason slump, that rookie slump. I'm like, here's the thing. Everybody goes through a slump. Aaron Judge goes sometimes where he strikes out 4 times in a game. He was still the MVP last year because he still hit 62 home runs.
Well, and what's crazy is Josh Young is doing what he's doing, and he's already hit a slump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fact.
He was bad for about 3 weeks earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Has already overcome it. So
what did he get down to 258 and then he got up to 295? Come on, man. Now he's hitting 273 and people want to panic.
Well, we've got a golf update. I've not been paying attention to the golf at all.
Was it the Travelers this weekend?
But Ludwig Aberg is -8 with 1 hole to go, currently tied with Rory McIlroy, Victor Hovland, and 6 others.
Nice. Way
to go, Ludwig. He's going to win some tournaments.
Yeah, he's gonna He's going to win tournaments. I mean, Mito Pereira has won some tournaments, or won a couple. Won? Has he won? I thought he won.
He's been in the mix.
I thought he won in Dubai or somewhere like that.
Oh,
Anyways.
no, I have not been paying attention at all to the live.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't been paying attention to the Travelers this week, but the U.S. Open last week was fun. I mean, how about 2 opening day 62s to set the U.S. Open record by Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele, and then Justin Thomas shoots the worst score in a U.S. Open. So on the same day,
so Ludwig
shot an 81.
Yeah, -5 today to get to -8. He's tied for 8th in the tournament.
Yeah, that's right. He was 3 under going into today. I knew that. I didn't know when he teed off today.
And if he could get a birdie on the final hole, he'll be tied for 5th with Keegan Bradley a shot behind Adam Scott. The leader right now at -15, Denny McCarthy.
Never heard of him. Of course, I never heard of Wyndham Clark till last week either.
He must have gone. Yeah, he went. Oh, wow. He was on fire yesterday.
Oh, he shot a 60 yesterday. Denny McCarthy did. Yeah.
Wow.
It's par 70. He shot a 60. That's really good.
That is really good.
It's really tough to do. He was a putt. He had a putt for birdie on 18 that would have made him shoot a 59. I can shoot a 59 on 9. Done that before.
Yeah, I have as well.
Maybe not, hadn't been recently, but
certainly in my junior high golf days.
Definitely in the junior high golf days. Out there at Elm Grove.
As number 5 on the team of 5 when you take 4 scores. I was just out there having fun. I think we took my score once on the junior high golf. I think it was at Elm Grove. I think I shot it like a 42.
Hey, we played Elm Grove like it was going out of style, and it did. It went out of style. It's now apartments. Yeah. I love that course. It was short for short knockers like ourselves.
Big Hen says, Rob, people are saying you're scared to have Big Hen on the Rob Bro Show. Anytime, buddy.
Anytime, bro.
You tell me. Anytime you want to chime in.
Send you the link, and you can just grab on in. Come on in, big boy.
Got a link right here for you.
Just send it to him.
Of course, we're almost done today, but
there's always time for Big Hen.
Vote for Josh Young. What did we cover? Oh, did you want to say your piece on Texas Tech recruiting? I've given my thoughts, but a lot has gone on in the last 2 weekends. More might be coming this weekend. I know we've had a conversation dominated by Micah Hudson, but you're top 20 in the country in recruiting, and it's June. Yeah, it's June. It's not April. Like I heard of that all last year when we were the number 1 class in the country. Texas Tech was the number 1 class in the country. It's April. Okay, I get it. But June is different. June, if you're in the top 20, you're going to be in the top 30 by December. I mean, that is a different beast. Now, the problem with this class to end up in the top 15, let's say, is that I think you're only taking 18 or 19. Of course, Micah Hudson tips the scales a little bit as a 5-star plus. And he's going to be a 5-star everywhere you look. Will Hammond, after the Elite 11, which I don't think we talked about last week, finishing 6th in Elite 11, he'll be a 4-star by the end of the year. Consensus, in my opinion. If he has a great season, which I think he will. Then you'll have another 4-star on the roster, on the recruiting roster. So you're not going to have another class with 26, which really boosts your team numbers. But this class, I think, could end up being better than the last as far as the metrics go.
You know, and Micah Hudson's would be a huge get. I mean, that's cool. He's a great athlete, great player. But really, the one that I really want to see commit is Casey Poe to go along with the offensive lineman that you've already had commit. I mean, he's a dude who Lindell Eagle down there in Southeast Texas, I guess is where Lindell is. But I've watched film on this kid, and he's the real deal. He's He's a big kid, not as big as the kid from Prosper, 6'7", but he's 6'4.5", 6'5".
Somebody's interior.
And he's an interior offensive lineman. It's exactly where I was going with that. And that's where you need offensive linemen at. And you've got to get that interior of the offensive line sewn up. And you've already got the Hendricks kid from Cooper committed in the 2024 class, a 3-star kid, big kid. I've gotten to watch him play up close and personal many times just because of being able to officiate his games. But excited about him coming, but think about this. He and Casey Poe, and then what's the kid from Prosper's name? I'm forgetting that off the top of my head. Yeah, thank you. That young man, having those 3 kids come in this class, like that's 3 kids that could possibly start as freshmen. Maybe redshirt freshmen a year later, after they got on campus. But you're talking about both dudes in that interior offensive line who I think in Poe and Hendricks who would be great for you. And yeah, Yanero, I agree. I would love for Poe and Hudson to both commit, but if Hudson doesn't commit, I'm not as upset as if Poe doesn't commit, because you have wide receivers. You have skill positions. I'd love to see Micah Hudson commit. That'd be huge for Tech. Don't get me wrong. On a perfect day, both of those kids commit, and I'm happy as can be. But if Hudson decides to go elsewhere and, the big names come up and Texas A&M gives him $500,000 just to sign a contract and say, I represent Texas A&M and NIL and my name and likeness, then so be it.
And I will say this, committing is different than signing.
Fact. I agree. Ask Jimbo that. What's the kid that signed with Texas A&M and then he committed to Arkansas, or committed to Texas A&M and then signed with Florida State or Arkansas, somebody on signing day, and Jimbo was pissed.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, so
especially in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. And this kid's from Belton. Down there in Texas A&M territory, Texas territory. Now, I think Texas kind of wrote the ship off of him. Obviously, he's not going to his visit because he's at the 7-on-7 state tournament down in College Station this weekend, where shout out Lubbock Christian Eagles. They're playing in the 7-on-7, won their pool yesterday. So in the bracket play today. Yeah. First time ever in the UIL state competition for little old Lubbock Christian playing against 4A schools.
Wow.
But yeah. But yeah, I'd love to see Micah Hudson and Poe both come, but just to add to your commits. But right now, I love the Ellis Davis, Ivan Carrion. I hope you can continue to keep him committed. Obviously, with Emmett Jones going to OU, he has been hard on Ivan Carrion going to Oklahoma. He took an official visit there. Was it last week? A couple weeks ago, something like that, and absolutely loved it compared to his Twitter. Looking at his Twitter, and I don't blame the kid. I mean, what's there not to love about Oklahoma? They got facilities, they got everything. Texas Tech is getting the facilities, they're just not there yet.
And I'm indifferent on kids taking official visits after you commit. There are some coaches like Burnt Vegetables who will pull an offer.
Yeah.
If you commit and then go somewhere else. But I think Joey McGuire is pretty confident in his class. You just signed another 4-star or commit. You got another commitment. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, committed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just got another commitment from a 4-star wide receiver. So is what it is. This class looks really good. Cliff Kingsbury loves it because there's so many wide receivers and offensive linemen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do have Chita Ofili, who's a defensive, lineman. Edge rusher. He's a 4-star committed to this class.
Yeah, you have two highly rated defensive linemen as well.
He's at Saxey, which is just Dallas Garland. And then I'm excited to see what Will Hammond.
Some athletes, quarterback. You certainly have a full class, a rounded class. I'm just saying you could end up having 5 wide receivers.
Well, and what else is new? I mean, the wide receiver room might be the deepest in college football, and it has been that way for a while, I feel like. I mean, that's probably recent or a bias towards Texas Tech, but I'd put Texas Tech's wide receiver room up against anybody else's any given year and see what you have. You may have one superstar wide receiver like Julio Jones or Watkins or somebody like that at Clemson when he was there. Jones at Georgia when he was there. But do they utilize those guys as much as they probably should have? Probably not. The Texas Tech receiver room, from the top dude who's going to lead you in receiving all the way down, any of those guys can play. And that's what makes you excited about that, is the receiving room. The running back room has gotten better over the last couple of years. You hate to see Sir Roderick go, but I think Taj and company are going to hold serve there. And then, as far as quarterback play goes, I'm really excited to see what Will Hammond does for you when he gets on campus. And then he'll have at least 2 years to watch Baron Morton play at starting quarterback. So, that's going to be exciting. Will Hammond was at the Elite 11 camp this last week. I would not be surprised to see him get another star by the time he signs with Texas Tech. Just the way that he is progressed and the way that people talk about him and the quarterback community and the coaching community, watching all of those things go down. Everybody's high on Will Hammond from Hutto, and he's got a strong arm, he's a strong kid. I don't know that he's that tall, but why does that matter? He's athletic too, a little bit. Him and Baron Morton are probably a little bit of the same kind of guy too. So that'll be interesting to see how they figure out with Baron Morton after Tyler Shuck gets done after this year. I'm just glad Baron's staying for right now. I mean, obviously he knows he's not going to be the starter. If he was going to go in the transfer portal and leave, he's going to leave by now, I would say. Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
So I think he wants to be here. He wants to play with Zach, playing Zach Kitley's offense. He's dreamed about being a Texas Tech Red Raider, being the starting quarterback his whole life. You don't need 4 years, 3 years to be a starter to go to the NFL. You need 1 or 2 good years. And that's what Baron Morton's going to get. And why would you not just want that? Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those deals where you don't see that a lot these days. And I think that will go a long way with the fan base as well. You know how Tech fans are. When somebody leaves you, it feels like somebody slapped your mother. And especially when it's a kid like that who you have wanted on campus since he was a junior in high school. And so
pictures of himself in Little Texas Tech, he's playing catch with Sonny Cumbie.
Yeah, right. Grew up in Lubbock while his dad was a coach at Monterey. So it's one of those deals where I'm just glad that he stayed. I hope that he stays and continues to be here, because if Shuck goes down, which I don't think he's going to get injured this year. Everybody says, oh, he's injury prone. I mean, dude's got I think you and Kyle said it in the Gambling Gauchos a couple weeks ago. Dude's got a titanium plate in his collarbone. It's not bone anymore. It can't break. And he broke it twice. Yeah. He ain't going to break now. It may bend, but it won't break.
Titanium is like what they build spaceships out of, Carson. So it's going to be fine.
Just not submarines, right? But anyways, I think Baron backing up Tyler Shuck, that might be the best 1-2 combo in the country.
And you can only play one at a time?
Yeah.
Well, that you should only play one at a time?
Yes, I agree.
I don't subscribe always to if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1 quarterback, because I think both of them provide different things. I think you'll see Baron Morton play a lot early. I think you'll see him play against Wyoming. I think you'll see him play against Oregon. I think you'll see him play against Tarleton, or whoever your third game is. Somebody asked me the other day, a non-Tech fan, how long is Tyler Shuck's leash? And I wanted to say it's long. Like, he's not going to get benched. But in my opinion, I think where I landed was it is impossible to know Tyler Shuck's leash until we see it.
Oh.
Because if he comes out and struggles against Wyoming, you have Baron Morton.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but it could. I certainly hope Tyler Shuck starts 11, 12 games, because you haven't had that since Nick Shimanek, and you haven't had a 12-game starter since regular season since Patrick Mahomes in 2016. You've had 3 starting quarterbacks more often than you've had 1 starting quarterback since 2000.
In some years you've had 4.
You could go all the way back to, well, not starters, but you've played 4 quarterbacks.
You've played 4 starters, yeah.
Man, it's tough. Rob, why are there so many cat-based mascots in the new Big 12? I don't think they planned that, but they certainly have a lot. A couple of cougars, a wildcat. There's a bunch of them in there.
I think cat mascots are just common, anyways.
Yeah. Then Tucker, what's up, Tucker? Says,
nice to see Lauren. Yeah, gotta love it, right, Tuck? Things you love to see.
But yeah, white hats. I need to figure out where those are.
I have mine somewhere. I don't know where it is.
The snapback.
Yeah, the trucker hat. Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Also, my hat like that is disgusting.
This one fits my head, but see, I haven't worn this one. I have two of them. So I wear the nasty one out to do yard work in or whatever, go play golf and sweat in it. This one has not been sweating. So this is the come on the pod live.
There you go.
Now, the other one I could wear to our radio show back in the day because nobody could see us. You can wear whatever you want.
Exactly.
They didn't know if we were had shirts on or not half the time.
Hey, that brings
Tucker
me.
Could see us, but
Well, he doesn't care.
Tucker had his shirt off every day. What are you talking about?
That brings me up to a good point. If there aren't any local businesses that want to host the Rob Bro Show Lunch Friday edition with Carson Robinson, hit us up.
Yeah, we'll do live at the place. We love to eat.
Absolutely.
I'm not mad about a free lunch.
No. Well, hey, we'll pay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm okay with that too.
If you want to have us out, that'd be fun to do.
But yeah, you talk about Tyler Shuck's leash, and I don't know that it's short. I don't know, if he throws a pick in the first quarter. It's not like Baron Morton's coming in after he throws a pick.
Right.
Now, people on Twitter will panic and freak out and, well, we got Baron Morton. We got Baron. Tyler Shuck's not it. He's not it. The first sign that Tyler Shuck does something wrong, he's just not it. The first two drives, you stall out 2 drives in a row, they're going to want Tyler Shuck benched. Sometimes it's not the quarterback who's stalling out drives. Sometimes it's just because the other team dials up something that's better than what you did. That's football. That happens. Yeah. And but I would love, like you said, I'd love to see Tyler Shuck start not 12 but 13, maybe 14 games if Texas Tech gets to the Big 12 championship this year.
Hey, 15, 16. Let's go.
Yeah. Why stop it there, right? No, I just hope that you don't have to worry about, what you have in the past where Tyler Shuck goes down, Donovan Smith comes in, he gets a little banged up, doesn't perform as well as what they thought he might, got a little banged up, and then Baron Morton comes in, he gets a little banged up, and then you're like just kind of mix matching everything together, trying to just get through a football game. Like, I don't want to see your quarterback, your number one quarterback, go down with an injury early in the season because we haven't got to see what Tyler Shuck can do in a full season. Even at Oregon, we didn't because he played the 2 quarterback system. He was in, then he was out. He was in, then he was out. He was good, he wasn't. Right. That's what I mean. And then they brought in the other kid, and he played quarterback. And then Bo Nix came, and that kid transferred too. So,
well, he wasn't very good.
No, but I think Tyler Shuck is very good. I really do, and I think people are going to find that out this year if he doesn't get hurt. I think Tyler Shuck is maybe the top, if not top 3 quarterback in the Big 12 this year. It's a bold proclamation, but Quinn Ewers is good. I think Tyler Shuck can be just as good. His numbers may be better than Quinn Ewers's. But I think that Quinn Ewers is good. Tyler Shuck is good.
Will Howard. Alan Bowman.
No. Tyler Shuck's better than Alan Bowman and Will Howard. Dylan Gabriel at UCF. I think he's better than him.
Oklahoma.
At Oklahoma. UCF to Oklahoma. My bad. But yeah, I think that
Plumlee.
Yeah, John Rice Plumlee, the old Ole Miss quarterback or running back, quarterback, baseball guy. Yeah, UCF. He's better than John Rice Plumlee. But I think he might be the second best, if not the best quarterback in the Big 12 when all is said and done this year.
I think Shuck's top 5.
Yeah. If we power ranked quarterbacks, which I'm sure y'all will do or have done on the Gauchos one of these weeks as we get closer to football season, sounds like a pretty good episode to me. But sounds like a list Kyle can make up and put out on Twitter, actually.
Yeah.
Get a lot of pissed off people in that one. Throw Ewers down at 12. Just throw him down at 12, see what happens.
Well, and what's interesting is Donovan Smith is now at Houston.
Yeah.
And we all kind of pegged him as the day one starter down there. But Mike Craven from Dave Campbell's Texas Football says that's not the case. He could not start.
I think Donovan's the best option they got at quarterback, starting quarterback.
It's one of those, though. Do you start the young guy? Same at West Virginia.
I start the guy who's played in the league and shown he can win in this league.
Hey, I agree, but Neil Brown has not done that with Garrett Green. I guess he's done it the opposite of Garrett Green because he's had him sitting on the bench. But you have the young kid out there who seems to be the future. Is he going to start, or is Garrett Green going to start at West Virginia? That's the whole conversation. There's a lot of places like that, and that's what I wanted early on in Tyler Shuck's tenure here at Texas Tech. I just wanted Baron Morton because he was the future. But now that Tyler Shuck's been here 3 years, I'm all in on Tyler Shuck because he's been here 3 years.
Yeah, I agree.
So is what it is there. I hope Donovan Smith plays and plays a lot. We got another update here on the comment section. 2 more West Virginia transfer announcements. Kerr Krissa and Joe Toussaint.
I figure we're going to have a couple more of those come in the next couple of weeks as well because they're trying to find a place to go before. I don't know when the deadline and that's basketball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. I think that the Huggins thing, going off of football for a little bit, the Huggins thing, I texted you after I saw it. I said, well, I guess we won't get to hear Huggy Bear mic'd up this year with the new Big 12 and all the things that they're going to do with the behind the scenes stuff and all of that. But yeah, I think that we're going to see a lot of transferring going on in West Virginia. I don't know that they'll have a complete roster till they get to October. And it might be a couple walk-ons, 3 or 4 that are playing, kind of like the Oklahoma State first year that Mike Boynton was there. I think it'll look a lot like that with West Virginia this year. Just because those guys committed to Bob Huggins.
Ludwig Aberg finished at -8.
Good for him. Good getting into the weekend at 8 under sounds pretty good.
Oh, we've got a fun fact, not from Tucker. We've got a fun fact Friday. We used to do this on the Rob Bro Show.
We did. We need Tucker to do this every Friday again.
Fact of the day: the furthest a person can be from a McDonald's in the United States is 107 miles. It's a spot in northern South Dakota called McFarthest Spot.
Is that an actual town name, or is it just
It's probably just some
one person named their land that because it's the McFarthest place from McDonald's?
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I think we end on that one.
Yeah, I think you have to end on that, right? Go get a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. Get you some fries, or a Big Mac if you like those things.
There you go. Make it a
hit us up, McDonald's sponsor.
No free ads. All right, this was the Rob Bro Show. You can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're up to 550. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Get it.
So hit that subscribe button so we can do more things on this YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, hello. If you're watching on Twitter, hello. By the way, if you comment on Twitter, those are just going into the ether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't get to see those.
If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube so we can see your comments. All right, Carson, anything else?
No. Keep voting for Josh Young. Keep voting for Josh Young to start in the All-Star game. He deserves it.
On the Gambling Gauchos, I always give Kyle an opportunity to say his final thoughts. And then I'll say, you said it all, Coach, when he says, if I have any final thoughts. Nobody knows what that is. But
nobody but me and you. That's it.
You get it. So,
all right.
I'll have to tell the story sometime.
That's right.
All right. See y'all.
Peace.